What's up, people? Just thought I'd come online and work on a thumbnail for me for a thumbnail video where I made a thumbnail for someone else. So, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Got 1,000 windows open. But here we are. Aha. There we go. It's just using this camera with a different lens for this shot that you see on my screen. So anyway, this is just a raw photo. Shot it with a 14mm lens, this bad boy. But it's manual, so I have to find it in here. It is the Samyang 14mm 2.8. Ultra wide. All right. Manual focus lens, so I just had to guess on where I'd be and kind of stay in the vicinity, so it's a little out of focus. I'm just going to go to detail, crank up that sharpening a bit. It's not too bad, honestly. And then noise reduction just a tad. Cool. Let's this is probably a good time for me to demonstrate teeth whitening. I'm always worried that if somebody sees me whitening someone's teeth in a thumbnail that they might get offended, but my pearly whites aren't all that pearly white, so let's just do it on me. So I'm just gonna go to this and just gonna make this about the size of my teeth. Nice and fairly hard. Just gonna bring the saturation down because they're kind of yellow. So just give it a nice little paint. You don't want to go too desaturated or it'll look fake. But we just went from this to this. And that's quite a difference. So, oh, we got a viewer whitening my teeth. Not embarrassing a bit. Let's just crank that whiteness a little bit. Look, there's even a whites here. You just bring that up a tad. Beautiful. Look at that fine oral care. Welcome. Yeah, that's looking all right. Open this up. Just working on a thumbnail for a video that I'm about to release. For my own video. It's funny because, like, oh, hey, Jared. Welcome. Thank you. Yeah, it's funny because, like, I'm always making thumbnails for other people, but I fall into the same trap where you work forever on a video and you want to release it. And then the last thing you want to do is the thumbnail, even if it's your own. Nice. Yeah, sick. Well, you came to the right place. Thanks for joining, Jared. Hope my audio isn't too bad. My upstairs guy is taking a shower and you can really hear it in this room, so let's nice. Hue saturation with the mask. Yeah, that's another way. Great. Awesome. Yeah, there's always like 5 ways to do any one task in Photoshop. It's kind of like a real workbench. Like when people are like, "What's the best app for editing photos or making thumbnails or whatever?" I mean, there's always debate, but I just kind of see Photoshop as it's like a real life workbench, you know. Maybe my desk is fine. It's like a real life workbench. Like, you know, you can use screws or nails to put something together, and chances are it'll hold together for your basic needs. um, or like there's so many different ways to cut wood. You could do the Mr. Beast route and use a plastic knife. It'd take a while, but do the trick. Same with Photoshop. Like there's so many different ways you can do it, and who's to say which one's the right way? Yeah, Photoshop is, in my opinion, just the best of everything. Every once in a while you'll get tools that like do something better, but before too long Photoshop usually catches up. Yeah. Jared, did I see you're making thumbnails for Airac's people? Or like Airac? I don't know if I misread that or not. Hope I'm not putting you on the spot. Hmm. Hmm. That's awesome. That's sick, dude. Congratulations. Look good. Yeah, It's cool seeing you do the stuff with Colin and Samir as well. It's nice to see you going for it. Oops. I'm hoping this thumbnail isn't too clickbaity. It's funny, like, how do you make just like sitting around staring at a computer fun and engaging, right? Oh, sick, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, I often spend like 10, 20 hours on a thumbnail. You don't always tell people that, but like I mean, that's the art, right? Like famous paintings sometimes took like years to make with like tons of studies and a lot of experimentation and just it never quite being finished. Yeah, I don't know. I enjoy the art part, so if it just doesn't feel right, sometimes you got to put a little more time in. Wow. Tie changes, shirt changes, background combos. Yeah, dude, that's insane. The final looked awesome. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's pretty. The last year's just been insane. And then going to Vid Summit really took me from being like getting busy to being way too busy. But I've kind of balanced it out and like, I don't know. A lot of people who, you know, I thought it might be nice to work with, and then you realize that like, oh, it's not quite the way that you hoped, or like some people don't have the time to work the way that I'd like to work. Like if I want to do a photo shoot for a thumbnail, sometimes people don't have time for that. So since Vid Summit, with all the demand, it's been interesting learning about like people's needs and time boundaries, I guess, and where you fit into it all. Yeah. Yeah, I got featured in Published Press. That was super exciting. I commented. No, I didn't even comment. There was a. I feel bad. I don't even know the Phase guys that well. But there was a tweet going pretty viral about like thumbnail contest where the winner gets like $10 or $20 or something like that. And there were a lot of people chiming in, and I think I just liked a few of the comments that were kind of like, "Oh, who do you think you are?" You know. So then I just kind of like liked that stuff, and then I had slipping my mind. The writer for Published Press reached out to me. I feel bad I forget her name. And just had some questions, and I ended up like, she asked just a couple simple questions, and I ended up writing like 2 pages of like what goes into charging for thumbnails. And yeah, so she ended up turning that into a big chunk of one of the newsletters, which was pretty surreal because I've been a big fan of them for years. At a factory I used to work at like 2-3 years ago, they let us listen to our radios if we were in for overtime on weekends, and they'd usually mandate us to come in on weekends. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Hannah Doyle. That's it. Hannah Doyle's the one. Thanks, Jared. She's the writer for Published Press. Anyway, but yeah, this factory that I used to work at, They'd let us bring in a radio for weekends, and I'd always be mandated. So I'd just be, for 12 hours, I'd just be sitting there looking at metal parts for transmission, transmission parts for cars, just making sure that there were no cracks or dings or anything. Just be doing that for 12 hours, and I'd be listening to things like Colin and Samir, and that'd just keep my mind busy. Sometimes I listen to it in parts or like re-listen to it even. I remember like I listened to the first episode with Eric on there while working at that factory. So, and I remember him talking about thumbnails back then and how necessary they were. And I was just thinking like, man, I got to get into that space. And yet it was still a while before I actually really tried. I was stuck on photography for a while, and then it really became obvious that I need to go into thumbnail stuff. It's kind of cool how everything comes together. What was I doing? I can get talking sometimes. Let me see. Thanks, dude. I want to make this like take up as much side to side space as I can. I don't mind it being a little warped and crazy. I think maybe I'll cancel. Yeah, it's cool. I've been out of the factory life since August. Factories are easy to get jobs around here, and they pay decent, and you can kind of just like let your mind go and think about what you'd rather be doing. And like they suck, so you never get comfortable to the point that you want to stay. And that's why I keep going back to factories, or why I kept going back to factories between like 2008 and this year. It's kind of been the bread and butter. I've quit factories for photography or YouTube stuff over a dozen times. But yeah, here I am finally. Let's do puppet work again. Okay, so yeah, this video might be a little, the title might be a little clickbaity. I don't know. Let me know what you think. So like, basically, I'm making a thumbnail for Iman, and which is already out. It came out yesterday, so you may have seen that if you follow him. This is funny. Oh my gosh, no. Okay. Okay, so I made a thumbnail for him, and there's a girl in it whose face is censored, and so yeah, thanks, Jared. Okay, so this thumbnail, I had to censor the one girl's face, and just to kind of like give a sense of wonder, like who is this person who, for lack of a better word, won. And so basically the title of my video is just going to be, what was it? This thumbnail had to be censored, and here I am looking at the thumbnail, having a little too much fun. So I think it's going to be a little suggestive, but also just kind of pique people's interest on like what's being censored. I want to see this thumbnail, though it might bring the wrong crowd, because I don't want to bring people in who just want to see what should be censored but don't give a crap about Photoshop. So it'll be an experiment to see how it flies on my channel, because honestly my thumbnails on my channel are kind of lacking in general, so it's kind of embarrassing when people look. Yeah, the nerd video. I didn't do Manuel's, but I did Iman's, which had bits of Manuel's in it. Puppet Warp's the best. So bad. I don't know if... Yeah. Yeah, I actually just... I recorded the whole process of making that thumbnail. And I've been doing that for a lot of them, so I just have a bunch on hand. And I basically just segmented it and talked about every step throughout the way. It's going to be fairly boring for the general viewer, but I think the people who want to learn can kind of trace my steps. And then I talk about my new Patreon community a little bit in it as well. Sweet. Yeah, it's about, I think it's 5-6 minutes, somewhere in that area. So definitely, yeah, it's not too crazy long, but it shows the details. Okay. Now that I've distorted my head, I don't want to over distort it. Like that. Actually, it'd almost be funny to just have sometimes I think about just like not even trying on my work. Well, I shouldn't say not even trying, but making it like sloppy to catch people's attention. Like at first I was thinking about titling this Thumbnail Done Good. Like DUN space GUD. Thumbnail Done Good. And then I could just like number them. I might switch to that if this doesn't work well. And then just kind of have like a low standards, this is how I work kind of series. But it would also be funny to just kind of have like warped faces. I don't know. That's the joy of working on your own stuff, is it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. Sweet. Yeah, I have little jokes here and there. It's funny, like I didn't even mean to, but I can't seem to make work without it being at least a little goofy. Yeah. Puppet Warp is so much fun. I kind of like this rounded effect. It's like better than fisheye. I have a fisheye lens, but it's funny when you speed up a thumbnail with like areas that you're experimenting in, because you try to make it smooth in your edit, but then you really see all the points that you're just going back and forth and playing with things and seeing what looks right. And like that's, I feel like I should probably make a video about that down the road, where I just kind of talk about how it's okay to not know where something's going, but just kind of work on a hunch, because chances are it'll turn out better than if you didn't. And even if it doesn't, then you know what not to do next time. So yeah, there's a lot of that in like all of my stuff, where I'm just kind of playing around. And that's why I can't charge hourly, is I just spend too much time experimenting and learning. But that's what makes it fun, right? Yeah. I think it's cool that you said you spent 10 hours on that thumbnail, because uh yeah, that doesn't sound crazy to me at all, but whenever I say anything like that to somebody else, they always go like, "What? You're crazy." but that's like normal. Not normal, but well, it's normal for it to happen. It's not that long on every thumbnail. Yeah. Yeah. The only thing that I go hourly for is like if somebody if I okayed a thumbnail with somebody and then moved on and did a bunch of work on it after that, and they're like, actually, let's go back a few steps, then I'll charge my hourly rate on top because, you know, chances are it's not as easy as just hitting Control Z a couple times. Yeah. That's cool. Sorry, just got a text from Iman. Yeah, I think I'll stick with this. I'm getting tired. Ugh. Long day. Yeah, it's 11:36 p.m. What time zone are you in, Jared? I can't remember. I think I might actually switch over here while I look for stock. Nice, PST. Yeah, I send a lot of texts at once too. I feel bad. Yeah. Well, man, dude, what are you doing? I'll hit you up when my live stream's done. Peas. I thought I put it on silent mode. All right, so I bite my nails, so I can't actually set it onto silent mode without using a tool. Oh man. Shh. Okay. Back to you guys. Hey. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to find, I'm thinking like maybe wood grain or something to put on this. I'm just thinking like I'll put like a bit of a desk and then like a darker background, and then maybe even try to put a bit of a foreground in, like you're looking through the computer screen. It's kind of what I'm thinking, but oh, so many cameras. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go with a wood grain because it's a little bit darker, and that'll keep, you know, the brightest thing in the scene as my face. The whitest thing in the face, or sorry, that'll keep the whitest thing in the scene as me. Oh yeah. Yeah, having a deep silent mode slot is like, it's not something you think of, and you can't really try it out until you've spent the money. And it's not defective, so I don't even know if they'd take a return. Okay, bring this into Photoshop. And we're back. There, done. No, just kidding. So desk will be in this vicinity. I don't think this piece of wood's actually this big, but sue me. I don't know. Kind of just figuring it out as I go. Actually, I want to warp it. So I'm gonna like just bring these way out here as if it's getting wide angle distorted. Maybe even more. And then I'm gonna turn it. I thought I set it on silent. What the heck? Cool. Oh, hey, Alex. I'm a little embarrassed. I told you I was going to try the Vlogmas, and I didn't even do it once. Oops! But I did make a video just now, a long form, and that's what I'm making this thumbnail for. So, eat that. No, I'm just kidding. I've seen you. You're pretty active, though. That's good to see. Sweet. Thanks for joining for a while, Jared. Nice to see you. I feel like you and I should keep in touch better. We should just have a video call sometime and hang out. So I'm only focusing on this area because that's all that's actually in the frame. Just trying to curve it a little bit like my keyboard and everything else. I should be embarrassed. Yeah, I'm embarrassed. Stream's over. See you guys. No, I'm just kidding. Go. Okay, so let's add some shadow. To add some shadow, I'm just gonna do an adjustment layer to levels, and then I'm gonna darken it, bring the midtones down, add some contrast, and then invert the mask. So now it's invisible. Press B to select the brush, the right square bracket. I don't actually know how to what to call the square brackets below the plus sign, but just I don't know. Anyway, you press that to make your brush bigger, and then hold Shift and do the left bracket to make it softer, and then just paint some white in there, and that shows your adjustment layer. And then if you hold Alt or Option on a Mac and click between this layer and the one below, it'll lock it to just that. Just that. It'll pair it to the layer below. So now that's too much. Just gonna carefully paint in where there would be shadow. So like kind of this area. Just leaning on the table. A little bit under my arm. Look at that sexy beast. A little bit under here. Cool. And then I'm gonna do a little shadow on my layer as well. So why don't I just duplicate this, bring it up, pair it, and just gonna restart the layer mask. Alex, are you editing right now? Are you still here? Yup. Dude. What day is it even? It's the 13th. I think the longest I've gone is like 11 or 12 days of daily thumbnail videos. In 2012, I did a photo a day where I tried to do like big production photographs every day. And the production quality went way down by February. And then I stopped by like July, I think. Some days were literally just like grab my SLR and run out and just like take a picture on the street and then head to work. Yeah, it's hard. No break is difficult, but I bet you're learning a ton. And did you just hit 100 subs? Is that what I saw? I didn't actually watch the video. I'm sorry. But I saw it. Last video is uploading. Awesome. Okay, so now at least it looks like I'm leaning on this desk or whatever. I'm just gonna rasterize this and just gonna dodge it, give it some sheen. Let's do the mid-tones, not protect tones, 10%. Yeah. I kind of like the white background actually. Let's give it some saturation because it's definitely not colored enough for some vibrance. It's a little better. Probably shouldn't be wearing a black shirt, but I don't know if that matters honestly in this one. It's not like I have a dark background I'm trying to contrast. 104 subs, my man, yeah. Anybody watching this now or down the road, check this guy out. Making really good, well-edited content. Why did I? I didn't mean to make a group. What did I even put in it? Okay. Let's go into selective color. Mess around with this for a minute. Pump up the reds. Make them jump. Get this thumbnail bumping. Hey! Preston and Mark. Whoa. Two of my favorite peeps. Nice to see you guys. Right. The thumbnail goat. Thanks, Mark. Something funny on my glasses. Oh, over on the side where it's green. I hadn't noticed. Thank you. Yeah, it was originally on a green screen. So thanks for that. To fix that, I'll just select the brush tool. I already have white selected. Set the mode to color. If it loads. Oh, wait. Set the mode to color. And then just paint over this area. Here we are. At 100%. There we go. So I'm just painting the color out of this area, which makes it gray. But like, let's just say I had green and let's just say I had green and like painted it over my eyebrows. It'd keep the detail and just change the color. And so that's basically what I did over here. It's just, it works, right? You know, this might actually work too. I don't mind that. I've always wanted dyed hair. Maybe later. Okay. Oops. The other side, he said, though. Do you just mean in here? That's just the, like, it's just my glasses diffracting or refracting the light. That's natural, if that's what you mean. Although my eyes are bloodshot, so why don't we fix that while we're here? In fact, let's just use the same strategy that we just learned. So still on color mode. Just gonna paint over this this here and get rid of that color. Although if you look up here, there's the slightest blue tone right here. So I'm actually gonna paint that over. Makes it a little more natural. Doesn't look quite right though, so I'm gonna lighten it as well. Yeah, it doesn't look good at all. Concept for this video. So this thumbnail, or sorry, this video is going to be called "This Thumbnail Had to Be Censored," and it's the making of a different thumbnail for Iman. His video his channel's Emonian, and I mean, you know, obviously Preston, but yeah. So his video launched yesterday, and I made the thumbnail for it. So this is just showing everything that happened behind the scenes. So I figured as a way to bring people in and make it kind of fun and clickable, it's this thumbnail had to be censored. So people will be like, what has to be censored? Although I'm worried it'll bring the wrong crowd, so I might just change it to Thumbnails Done Good and make it a series. Thumbnails Done Good. Let's see. You know, I kind of like the white background. It's just simple. I think the keyboard needs some shadow though. Yep. This is my friend Mark. He and I went to college together for photography from 2008 to 2010. And yeah, interesting days. We've both come a long way since then. Still working at it. And I finally made it full time, Mark. I'm finally a success. Preston's helping me stay afloat. Thanks, dude. Nice to see you, Preston. How's your night going, Mark? Just winding down for the evening? I feel like the white reflection on your glasses with the white background just makes sense. It makes it look like a piece of your head is cut off. I'm considering it, Alex. Feel like the white reflection on your glasses with the white background just makes it look like a piece of your head is cut off. I get what you're saying, and I'm strongly considering it, but this is something that's just like natural, and it's something that I've always left in with like all of my stuff because it's like how it actually works. And I get that it might not look right, but like it's actually not photoshopped besides it just being like green originally, because of the green background. So I think I'm just gonna leave it, but thanks for pointing it out. Yeah, sometimes it's good to fix things even if they are correct. I think this just comes down to consistency in my work. Like with all of my photos that I've cut, I've left the glass diffraction or refraction. I always get mixed up. I've always left it in. So I think just for the sake of being consistent in my work, I'm gonna leave it. Yeah, but I get what you mean, and it is a little odd. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Mark. Thanks for joining. Cool. All right. Well, let's see. I feel like this could use more color, but I don't know if I even need it to. So my initial concept. Maybe I will try darkening it. Let's just make the background pure black. Now everything else looks awful. Let's pump that white up and darken them blacks. I never mean to sound weird when I say that stuff. I always realize after. Gonna burn the shadows on the keyboard. It's looking a little washed out here. And you see a bit of the reflection of the green screen in the background. This is better. We'll do... Now the white looks weird. I legit don't know how to shut off my notifications. huge difference that makes. I don't like how yellow it is now. Is that a red's problem? What is going on? I guess it's a midtones thing. Just talking to myself here. I do have an iPhone. I turned off the thing on the side. It's midnight. Turned off the thing on the side, and I turned the volume all the way down. But it sounded like they were still coming in. This just doesn't look good on black. Oh, do not disturb. That's a good idea. I don't even know how to get to that. Is it somewhere? Wait. I think do not disturb would be somewhere on this screen. Maybe? I don't know. I'll figure it out later. It's honestly not a big deal. I don't want to waste your guys' time. Okay. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm fond of how it looks on a black background. You know what? I'm gonna find like just a generic office-y background for the sake of there being detail back there, I think. And then also darken the foreground except for my face. I think. Yeah. So just for a minute, I'm going to switch to that camera. Do not disturb the moon icon. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, Alex. Okay. Just gonna find on Envato elements. Gonna find a generic office. I kind of like this. No, but I want it to be on an angle, like my picture. I like this one. Just gonna use that little space because that's all I need. I don't know if that's enough or not. You don't need a ton of a background, just a little bit. I don't know if that's good enough. It's too out of focus. The foreground would have to be out of focus as well for that one to make sense. Plus, I'm super wide angle. You don't really see a shallow depth of field with shots that are that wide angle. Office, empty. Man, why doesn't my office look like that? They're all so clean and perfect. Where are all the empty granola bar wrappers? Right? Can't be the only one. Kind of like those. Still pretty overly nice looking. Where are the bookshelves? Oh, there we go. I was gonna say where are the bookshelves, but this, I like this. Although I don't like the light. This area might be okay though. I just want a simple background. My man, that's a good idea. I can just, that'd actually be funny. I just put a typical office space. I should just get like a repeating stock video of like a busy office space with people walking by with like folders and, you know, things they do in a real office. I should actually just get a clip from the movie Office Space and just put that on in the background. Case of the Mondays. That'd be awesome. I like that idea. I don't need a lot of detail, honestly. Just, yeah, this doesn't even make sense really, but like visually. Would it be, it might actually be warped like this way with the angle I have. Whoop. Yeah, that's not bad. I don't mind that. Yeah, that works. Oops. Levels. Blue. Oops. Yeah, there we go. She's coming along. I wonder. Let's make the foreground a little blue. Hold the phone. Okay, wait a second. I would not be a good gaming YouTuber. I am not good at precisely clicking. when I watch the pros just like, you know, snipe someone from across a map or like be jumping and shoot somebody like I used to play Halo and you hardly have to aim to get people on that. But like I wasn't even good at that. I'm glad on Photoshop you can just keep retrying. It's not exactly time sensitive. All right. Thanks for watching for so long, Alex. Nice seeing you. I'm gonna go watch your video soon. I wanna catch back up. Do a Alex the Great marathon. Thanks for joining. Have a good night. Cool. Oh, wait. Dude, I didn't even... Ah, man, I'm bad. I read the first part of your message. I didn't read the second. I didn't hear the part about smiling. Sorry. Well, anyway. Sorry about that. ADHD going. I appreciate the support. Color. Oops. Oops. Oh, my Instagram is the thumbnail grail. Thumbnail grail was taken. Well, I don't. That's the thing. There's a lot of Instagram handles that don't look to be taken, yet it won't let you choose it, and I don't know why. Thumbnail grail, I can't take it, but the thumbnail grail is what I am. Everywhere else, I'm just thumbnail grail. Giving it a nice vignette. Really bringing that attention into me. Yeah, that's looking all right. Colors aren't quite popping yet. I might change the color of my shirt. I don't know. My hand's too bright. I might just paint off my hand a little bit on the selective color. That's all right. A little green now. So I'm just doing very subtle adjustments, but my fingers were too white because of the whitening that I added here with the selective color adjustment layer. So I painted that out, but the selective color also made all of my skin tones less green because of the reflection from the green screen behind me. So I just made a separate color balance adjustment layer to add some magenta to that area alone. Very subtle. You can see there's some green on my shirt up here too. I think I'm just going to paint that out. Yeah, it's a little better. Nice. Although my head too. Whoop. Just do this. That's not looking good. Cool. Do I like that? Nah. Right. So now my head's blending into the background. I don't know if that's an issue though. So I think what I want to do is make it look like we're behind the screen. So I'm going to put a mouse clicker big and out of focus in the foreground. And I'm thinking I'll just put a censor bar that says censor. My biggest dilemma with this is I wanted to say censor. And I ran into this trouble when I did the Trevor Wallace. His video is called Horniest Page on Instagram. And I wasn't sure if I should put the text like normal, like reading left to right, or if I should put it backwards, because in reality, if we were looking through the screen, it'd be backwards. But I don't think people will think that much with the thumbnail. I just wanted to like make sense quick. So I don't know if I should bother with that. On the other hand, the title is this thumbnail had to be censored. Like that's the name of my video. And I feel like this thumbnail as is kind of, I don't know. It works with the title. I don't know if it's enough though. It definitely doesn't tell the whole story alone. It's just me smiling at a computer. So I don't know. Let's add a pointer. I'm just gonna switch for a second. Should I do Windows pointer or a Mac? I think Mac's, yeah, the Mac pointer is black, so it won't stand out as much. Let's do a Windows pointer. This is one of the few things that I'll take off of Google because, I mean, it's just part of Windows. I'm very against using work that isn't mine or isn't something that I have permission to use. Always using stock photography, always using just assets that I have permission with. Should I put the pointer backwards? Oh man, I don't know. Maybe I just won't. Right, I'm just gonna play around with this for a minute. I think, yeah, I don't. Something I gotta do more of is do smart objects. Smart objects. How do I even do a smart object? Oh man, that's embarrassing. There we go. Okay. So if I make it a smart object, I can adjust it later and still apply filters to it. So I'm going to add some Gaussian blur, make it look like it's out of focus. Hey dude, nice to see ya. Thanks for joining late at night. Welcome. Okay, so now I'm going to make this transparent. There we go. So as you can see, the layer is still untouched underneath while a Gaussian blur has been applied to it. And that helps too, because later on I can add that same blur to other things that'll be like on the screen. So I got to remember that in this space here is going to be my timestamp, which actually makes me think maybe I should move everything else just a little bit over because my hand will be covered. Just a tad. So let's just move all these things just a tad. Oops. Actually, I'm not going to move this. There we go. Whoops, something else. What is that? Maybe it's fine. What am I seeing over my face? What is that? What layer is that? Okay, I'll just put myself where I want. There's probably good. But what is this? I wonder if I can just select it. Yep. Okay, that is... Oh, right. I remember. Oops. That was just coloring my hair. Here we go. Good. So as you can see, it's just taking the green away on my hair a little bit. Is that layer a color layer? Because it should be. I think it is. Now it is. Whoops. Oh, come on. Here we go. I got problems. All right. So now I'm going to go to my cursor. Let's make it a little bit bigger so it doesn't get hidden behind the timestamp. Not bigger. Let's turn it a little bit more and then shrink it down a little. There we go. That's what I meant to say. So now the timestamp will be down in this vicinity. We'll still get a clear view of my cursor. And then let's just make a censor bar. Anyone new here? The video is called This Thumbnail Had to Be Censored. And it's my video. Hoping to release in the morning. And by hoping, I mean I'm definitely releasing in the morning, so stay tuned. Censored. This is my favorite font to use. Nope, no it's not. No, it's not. Although this is a good... Actually, yeah. Just forget what I said. This isn't the font that I typically use. But I do want to use this font for censored. Just don't listen to anything I say. Yeah, that's good. I guess I want to put it on a black square background first before I tilt it so I can get them both tilted in the same way. Let's put both of these into a folder and then just apply. Oh, can I do that? I want to make it look like... Maybe I don't. I was thinking I wanted it to look like the cursor was holding on to this. Maybe I do? I cannot decide. Okay. Let's actually not do that. I'm gonna go to... I don't remember the shortcut, so I'm just gonna go to Layer, Smart Objects, convert to Smart Object. Maybe there isn't one. Okay, and then I'm gonna hold Alt and drag that over so it gets it too. Now both of these have the Gaussian blur. This is 50% opacity, so I don't know if there's a good spot to put this. Maybe like this. I'm at the point where I'm not fully sure what to do or how to fix my concerns, but I'm figuring it out as I go. Censored. I hate the skewing. I should make this red. Oh my gosh. Chris, sorry to hear you've been feeling so sick lately. I hope you have a full recovery. It sounds like you're getting better, but past the worst of it. I'm glad you're all right. Let's try that. Here we go. What's the best placement? Maybe I did have the better placement of this before. That doesn't look so bad. Edit, transform, flip horizontal, make that shiz vertical. Yeah. This looks all right. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate you coming and watching. This was just kind of spur of the moment, and here I am almost an hour and a half later. Okay, let's see. I find myself like tilting my head back and forth and just like looking at these on every angle. I don't even know I'm doing it most of the time. But I'm more sensitive to it with an audience. Or I'm more sensitive that I'm doing it with an audience watching. Thanks, dude. Oh man, my focus. No, I appreciate that. Chris over here doing the hard work for the channel. I think honestly, like I've had so much short form stuff. I've had a few, like I think I've had close to 200,000 views or something. Maybe I can't remember how many. A lot, but most of them are short form. Like I think I only have like just over somewhere between 100 and 200 hours of watch time for the long form. What is up with my camera? Stop it. Anyway, yeah, I'm way off on the view time, so I'm nowhere close to getting monetized yet. But that's okay. I'm monetizing in different ways, making a living. Okay, let's bring the black up a little bit. Give it some contrast. Maybe not, actually. I feel like this gets the point across. So the title, this thumbnail had to be... I can't speak. I'm tired. This thumbnail had to be censored. And here I am. Does it feel... Chris, does it feel like I'm looking at a computer screen? like kind of getting excited about a sensor. I feel like I could maybe like black out the edges if it's the side of the monitor or something. Like maybe even just actually let's just select select all and then take out this area and then make a new layer and paint it black and then add Gaussian blur. Gotta make it a smart object first. Layer, smart object, convert, and then do this, and then do this. Whoops, wrong one. Do this, and then I'm gonna tilt it. Hey Miguel, thanks for joining. Just working on a thumbnail for me about, or for a video where I made a thumbnail for somebody else. And that video should launch in the morning. It's midnight here, so 8-9 hours from now. Right now I'm just trying to make it look like, just trying to make it super clear that I'm working on a computer. So I'm just adding like a vignette that's shaped kind of like a computer screen now. Just a subtle detail. I don't think it's super important that it's perfect, but you know, just getting the idea across, or trying to. And then I think this line's always vertical on a monitor, so I should probably, yeah, something like that. I wish I could have the points coming up to the sensor, but leaving space for the timestamp, I think this is the best way I can get it. Thanks, Miguel. I don't know why my camera keeps going out. I should probably just put it on manual focus. Here we go. Now it won't change anymore. Of course, I recorded my whole video with it jumping around. Screen grunge. Screen grunge. Interesting. Interesting. I wonder. Pixelate. Like that kind of, you mean? That's kind of cool, actually. I like that. It's a good idea. Thanks for that. It's subtle, which is how I want it. But yeah, that definitely gives it more of a screen vibe. What about small? I might want to make it bigger. So I'll just save that version, but then make another. Pixelate, color halftone, max radius. Let's make it quite big. Let's try 20. That might be too big. That might be okay though. That's not bad. Yeah, good idea, Chris. It's all about the subtleties. I kind of like that. Like, honestly, it'd be easy to take away if I wanted to switch it later. But I definitely feel like I'm looking through a computer screen now. And realistically, all the details are there. I don't think anyone's going to look at it and be any more confused with it than without. I might just vignette the desk a little bit more, like just burn the edges. Although I guess I flattened it mostly for that. Just gonna do... Actually, I guess I could. Gonna burn the heck out of the highlights. Yeah. So just add a little bit more shadow on the edges. Bring them eyes in. It's pretty dark though. Sometimes it's really easy to go overboard. I often make a change and then come back to it and then just make it half as strong as I made it. For the censored bar, I think it's covering my chin a little much. Like, it might be kind of hard to tell what's going on. So I think I'm gonna put a mask on the censor bar and just paint out on my chin just a little bit. I don't think it'll be obvious. Like, this is 30%. I've gone over it twice, so like 60%. Yeah. Maybe I'll do my shoulder as well. Do the whole neckline. Censored! Yeah. I think that's pretty good. Okay. Just gonna do a selective color and I think call it done. So, gonna go into the reds, make that bump. Whites. Hey, Jared. Thanks, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's come a long way since you were here. Just doing a final touch. I always do selective color on top of everything and just try to make stuff pop and balance out a little bit nicer. It doesn't need much at this point. Christopher, or Onspo, had the awesome idea of adding screen grunge, which I'm not 100% sure what he meant, but I think he means this stuff. So I added some of the, what was it? Filter. Was it noise? No. Pixelate. I did pixelate and then color halftone. And then I just made it pretty well transparent. And it's easy enough to get rid of if I want to down the road, but I think that makes it more clear that we're looking through a computer screen. And I decided to not make things backwards. Like, realistically, if you actually were looking through a computer screen, which you isn't realistic. Things would be reversed. But I think for the sake of the thumbnail and easy to understand, I think this works. Like it's funny, like when I look away and I look back, I'm like, this looks like a really low quality picture, but I think it has the storytelling elements I need. Kind of. I don't know. We'll see. I might bring the whole wrong audience. I honestly don't know. We'll see. Play around with it. I'll learn. Oops. A lot of magenta. Ooh. Yeah, there we go. I don't mind my shirt being black still. I don't even mind the logo. Oh. Cool. Yeah, he was meaning like fingerprints and stuff, like on a phone, maybe. That's cool. Not how I pictured it, but I like this. Yeah. It's digital. It's kind of, it looks kind of like, kind of takes me back to my teenage years when everybody had the big CRT monitors. That's kind of how they looked when you'd put your eyes too close. Maybe 4K monitors do that too, but I think you need really good vision. I don't know. Okay. Is the view from the screen distorting the keyboard? Yeah, I if you go back to the start of this video, you can see I warped the heck out of me and the keyboard. I shot it with a very wide angle lens, 14 millimeter. Look at this thing, it's crazy. But then I even pushed it further and warped it to be extra round and tubular. So yeah, I think it kind of makes it fun, and it kind of brings you in to have things like super distorted. And it makes, you know, what could be a super boring thumbnail a little bit more, you know, exciting. Beastie Boys did that a lot on their videos. They'd shoot with like a wide angle or a fisheye, and they'd be doing all the weird, you know, poses and rap signs. But yeah, it just makes everything more 3D and interesting. Same with skate videos. All right, I think that's it though. So I think I'm gonna wrap things up. See, we have 4 people here. Thank you all for joining. Feel free to go back and watch more. And tomorrow morning I'll be releasing the video. And if you have personalized questions that you'd like answered, or you want me to review your channel, or even like take your thumbnails and see what I can do with them, feel free to join my Patreon community. It's just patreon.com/thumbnailgrail. I do weekly 2-hour calls where I'm yours, and if only one person shows up, they get the full 2 hours. It's happened a few times, so if anybody needs that, let me know. Yeah. Oh, I see. Gotcha, Chris. I'm happy with how it is. All right. Thanks for joining, guys. We'll see you later.